The desert sun scorched the airfield, heat rippling off the tarmac as recruits stood locked in formation. Behind them, helicopters towered in neat rows, Black Hawks, Chinooks, and at the far edge, the machine every pilot dreamed of flying, the AH-264 Apache. Elena Cruz stared at it without blinking, her jaw tight with resolve. At 24, she was smaller than most around her. But the intensity in her eyes set her apart. That didn't stop the whispers. "You really think you can fly that thing?" one recruit muttered, loud enough to be heard. "She barely weighs 100 pounds," another snickered. "The recoil alone would flatten her. She should stick to drones or the mess hall." Laughter rippled down the line. Elena said nothing. She'd heard it all before. Every joke, every doubt, every cruel assumption. Her hands clenched behind her back as she silently promised herself, "One day, I'll prove you all wrong." What they didn't know was that she carried a secret one etched into her skin. That night, long after the barracks had fallen silent, Elena sat on her bunk and brushed her hair aside. There it was, inked into the back of her neck, wings spread across a blade, numbers woven beneath the design. It wasn't just a tattoo, it was her father's insignia, Major Gabriel Cruz. Among soldiers, his name was spoken with reverence, a legend. An Apache pilot who flew missions most never came back from. A man who saved entire units by plunging through storms of bullets. A member of a classified squadron known only as the Phantom Blades. When Elena was 10, his Apache went down behind enemy lines. His body was never recovered. On her 18th birthday, she inked his mark onto her skin. Not for memory, but for a promise. She would finish what he started. The next morning, the recruits lined up for inspection. Boots gleamed, uniforms were flawless, eyes stared straight ahead. Then the air changed. The air marshal approached. He was tall, silver-haired. His presence commanding silence. Medals glinted across his chest as he walked the line. Every recruit stiffened. When he reached Elena, he stopped. A gust of wind lifted her hair. The tattoo caught the light. The marshal froze. Behind Elena, few recruits smirked, certain she was about to be reprimanded. But then his voice cut through the stillness, low and steady. "Recruit, where did you get that tattoo?" Elena swallowed, her heart pounding. "Sir, it belonged to my father, Major Gabriel Cruz." The color drained from his face, not with anger, but shock. "I flew with your father," he said quietly. "I watched him pull men from burning wrecks. I saw him make an Apache dance through hell itself. He was the bravest pilot I ever knew." Smirks vanished. Elena lifted her chin. "Sir, I only ask for the same chance he was given to fly the Apache." For a long moment, the marshal studied her as if staring into the past. Then he nodded once. "You'll get your chance. Tomorrow. One flight. Prove yourself." Gasps rippled through the ranks. Elena saluted, her hands steady despite the thunder in her chest. Her moment had finally arrived. Dawn painted the sky in streaks of orange and violet as Elena stood before the Apache. Its blades stretched like a sleeping predator's wings. Mechanics moved around it, but she saw only the machine she had dreamed of her entire life. "Recruit Cruz," the air marshal called. "You asked for the Apache? Today you prove yourself." "Yes, sir," she replied, calm despite her racing pulse. She climbed into the cockpit, strapped in, and inhaled the scent of oil and steel. Her fingers hovered over the controls, trembling, until her father's voice echoed in her memory. "Fear doesn't mean stop, Mia. Fear means fly faster." She breathed deep. The engines roared. The rotors thundered. The Apache lifted from the ground, alive beneath her. At first she kept it controlled smooth turns, level flight. The instructors watched silently. The recruits whispered. Then the order came. Bring her around the tower. She banked hard, circling the tower in a perfect arc. Gasps rose from below. Evasive maneuvers. "Show us." Elena pushed lower, skimming the ground, dodging imaginary missile locks. The Apache responded like it had been waiting for her. Then she pushed further, barrel roll, vertical climb, a razor-sharp dive that made instructors curse. The Apache wasn't flying, it was dancing memories. Flooded her father laughing as he guided her small hands over a simulator joystick. "Don't fight it. Feel it. Trust it. His last words before deployment. You'll fly higher than me one day. Tears burned her eyes. She blinked them away. Not now. After 30 minutes, the call came. Cruz, bring her home. She landed smoothly. Engines powered down. Silence followed. Then the air marshal stepped forward. From this day on, he announced, Elena Cruz has earned her wings. She's not just her father's daughter. She is her own warrior. Applause erupted. Elena stood tall, wind tugging at her hair, her tattoo visible. In her heart, she whispered, I did it, Papa. Before sunrise the next day, alarms screamed across. The base recon unit pinned down, hostile armor inbound, immediate air support needed. Pilots were assigned fast. Then the air marshal stepped forward. Cruz, he said. You're flying, she saluted. Yes, sir. Minutes later, the Apache surged into the sky. Her co-pilot, Lieutenant Harris, glanced at her. First mission, first of many. Gunfire lit the canyon walls ahead. Missiles streaked past. We can't go through, Harris shouted. It's suicide. Elena pushed the throttle forward. Fear doesn't mean stop. They plunged into the canyon, rock walls inches away. Tracers flashed. The Apache twisted and rolled. You're insane, Harris yelled. No, she said grimly. I'm my father's daughter. They burst from the canyon and struck hard. Rockets, cannon fire. Explosions tore through enemy armor. Within minutes, the battlefield fell silent. On the flight back, Harris stared at her in awe. Who taught you to fly like that? My father, she said softly, even when he wasn't there. Back at base, soldiers cheered. The air marshal stepped forward once more. Call signs are earned, he declared. Tonight, Elena Cruz earned hers. From this day forward, she will be known as Phantom. The name thundered across the base. Elena stood tall. The same mark her father bore now reborn in her. I'm not just carrying your legacy, Papa, she thought. I'm flying my own. The Apache lifted against the golden sky as the screen faded. They mocked her for dreaming. They laughed when she asked to fly. But when the truth was revealed, they knew she was born for the Apache. She was born to be Phantom. Dreams don't die when others laugh. They die only when you stop believing.